This is a very important part of communication, physiology, what kind of energy you convey to your customers. They can feel it.
Welcome to the Sales Made Simple podcast. This podcast is dedicated to helping overwhelmed outdoor living professionals, landscapers, and hardscapers just like you increase your closing rate to over 75% without doubling your workload so you can build a seven-figure business that doesn't need you. I'm your host, Joshua Gillow. Let's dig in.
Why do you keep losing sales even before you speak? That's what we're going to hook on to today. So you don't need a better pitch, a better portfolio, or even better clients. You need to look in the mirror. How are you showing up? Because how you show up is how you either win the deal or you kill it without even saying a word. And what I mean by that is, are you showing up to your meetings tired, frustrated, wearing the weight of your day all over you? Are you nervous, rambling, not really sure of exactly what you're doing, avoiding the money conversation? Are you over-explaining and then hoping for a yes with customers, just running through the catalogs in your typical shooting off the hip, winging it kind of way? Are you walking away thinking, you know what? I really could have done this better. I really could have done a better job with this customer. So what really hurts when you're kind of winging your sales and your customers can feel that you're kind of coming off a hard day coming into a sales conversation is that you watch other competitors and other contractors win the projects that should have been yours. They have less talent and they're still winning. You know that your work is better, but they didn't choose you. They chose somebody else because they felt that you weren't connected or engaged with them during your conversation, that you weren't really asking them great questions. You were simply there trying to do the least amount you possibly could for the best result that you could possibly get. And they can feel that. They can feel when you're not engaged in the project, right? Because ultimately, they want to feel that you care. They want to feel that this project is important to you. And if they don't feel that because of whatever your day might have been like, well, you can try as hard as you want. Pitch them everything you possibly can. Try to sell them all the details that you always have. And the customers will nod and smile and probably tell you the same thing that a lot of them tell you, which is, sure, yeah, we'll get back to you. Or send us a proposal, and then you never hear from them again. If you keep having that same pattern happening to you over and over again, maybe it's time to slow it down and try to figure out what's going on so that you can talk to less people and win more work. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, what also happens is the client starts to feel something like something's off when you're just not fully engaged with that conversation because you're still wearing the day, or you're still frustrated from whatever else would have happened, or you're behind schedule, whatever that might be. And they'll sense a lack or an abundance of confidence. They can sense that right away from you, almost like they can smell it. Even if they can't name it, they can sense something is right or something isn't right with this relationship, and they'll move accordingly. That's what happens, right? So what winning looks like, on the other hand, is when you walk in calm, collected, present, grounded, ready to go, curious, like a detective, trying to figure out exactly what is the best way to solve this problem for the customer, not based on what you think it should be, but based on what questions are asked and what answers are given. When you start stitching together the puzzle of what was going to make this client engage this space more often and more comfortably, that's when things start to happen. That's when your value is finally given to the customer, where they can feel it, right? Do you listen more than you talk, or are you the one that constantly talks? A great way to test this is to record yourself during your next sales call just for you and go back and listen. And you may learn something. You may find that you talk a lot or don't ask good questions, or maybe you ask great questions and don't talk much at all. Who knows? You won't know until you actually go back and listen. Do you lead with quiet confidence? You create certainty and safety and trust with your customers? Or are you trying to sound really, really, really important and tell them exactly how they're supposed to do the project because that's how you were taught? Which is it? Recording yourself, you'll figure that out pretty quick. And you need to know that calm, present, great questions, leading, all of that leads to much higher closing rates when it comes to high ticket sales. Because think about it. If a customer is looking for someone they can trust to build a space that's $50, $150, $500,000, then they're really looking for someone they can be confident in, that they can trust, that they can build a connection with, a relationship, because that's not a little bit of money. And if you're not giving that to them because you're exhausted from the day going out to meetings and showing up just drained, and they can sense that, therein lies a problem. Customers are coming to you because they want you to be at your best at the meetings, not whatever's left at the end of the day is what they get. So awareness to help you with that shift is going to be, am I showing up desperate, exhausted, grounded? Like, what is your physiology like when you get there? What is your body like? Is it hunched down? Are you just exhausted? Are you just beat up from the day? Or is it up, vibrant, and alive? Which is it? This is a very important part of communication, physiology, what kind of energy you convey to your customers. They can feel it. They can read that even more than your words. Now, are you showing up to impress them with your volumes of knowledge of outdoor living? Or are you there to listen, to understand? Imagine that, showing up fully alive, but then talking the whole time, telling the clients what they need because you're the professional, and they feel smaller and smaller and smaller, like they don't care, like you didn't ask them questions to go deeper into understanding what they might truly need, want, and desire. Which is it for you? Are you selling yourself short before you even get the opportunity to quote the project because you aren't listening? Now, I say that because I didn't used to listen either. I thought I knew. I was the professional here, and I would tell you what I thought was going to be best in the space. But the problem is my closing rate was low, very low. And the reason why it was low is because I thought I understood what was needed more than the customer did. I never really asked them, and I assumed all the time. And that assumption is really what broke my ability to help people, because I thought I knew better. And I'm saying this because I know there's some of you out there listening right now that are watching this that are thinking, perhaps I need to ask more questions. What could they be? What's a good question to ask when this happens? What's a good question to ask when that happens? What's a good question to ask? And how do I remember it? Do I write it down? Like, how does all that work? And what if I really don't care? What if I just want the project? Let's be honest. That is a possibility that you're thinking, I just want the project. I don't really care about the people that I'm serving. And I hope that's not you. I hope that you really do this amazing work, building outdoor living spaces, connecting families together, enhancing property values because you love it. And if you do, then this course would be great for you, because we teach you how to connect and build relationships with customers in a way that builds a referral machine for you. So you don't have to spend as much on marketing, and you get better, warm clients to start with. And on top of all that, you finally get to work with the customers that value you and are willing to pay you what you're worth, because you're adding all of that additional value without having to spend a lot more money to do it. We're going to teach you how to do that step by step here. So if this one's shifting in you, if this video is shifting in you, thinking like, man, I need to show up to my meetings better. I need to, not just physically, like a shirt or pants or boots or whatever it might be, like not just that, but where's my mental game when I'm walking into a meeting? Am I ready to go? Do I have my afternoon planned enough that I can spend a little extra time with a client if need be, an extra half hour if that's what it takes? Or am I rushing from meeting to meeting to meeting, just pumping out proposals or designs? Like, which is it for you? So hopefully today you learned something about this. You don't need to fake anything. You just need to show up exactly as you are and start to lead. Leading in sales looks like knowing what you're going to do before the next question comes, knowing how to respond to questions that come down the alley, different objections, which would typically stop contractors in their tracks. I got to think about it, or that's too much money, or whatever the objection might be, or I need to ask my spouse, or whatever it might be. You're going to learn how to work around those and be prepared for those, not to completely eliminate them, because it's not possible. But what is possible is being prepared to be able to answer those questions and be able to ask deeper questions to find drill deeper into why those questions are coming up. It's important.
What if you could close 75% of your projects without chasing, convincing, or dropping your price? That's not a dream. That's the mission. Mission 75. Here at Yes Express Sales Academy, we are spearheading a bold shift to help outdoor living contractors sell with confidence, not desperation. Because let's be real. You've been told to just give them a good price and hope for the best. You've been trained to beg for work and give away your time and compete with contractors who don't even play at your level. That ends now. I wrote the Core 10 Sales Playbook because it's the system I desperately needed 20 years ago. It's built for real-world, design-build contractors, not guys in suits. Inside, I'll show you how to qualify leads in minutes, speak to emotion, not features, cut confusion and eliminate ghosting, lead the sales call with calm authority, and close premium jobs without flinching. That book drops in January 2026. Check out the show notes to get on the list to be the first in line to grab your copy of the Core 10 Sales Playbook before they're gone. This isn't about working harder, it's about selling smarter, and it starts now. Let's raise the standard together.